Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm thrilled about our guest this morning. I am with Shannon Biszantz out of Coldwell Banker in Arizona, formerly San Diego. Shannon, thank you so much for spending a few moments of your morning with me today, sharing your story and building into the Fello community.
Well, thank you so much. And I do want to make a clarification. I was with Coldwell Banker since 2004 in California, selling in California. But as everybody knows, there was a man involved. And I ended up in Surprise, Arizona. You know, everybody goes, why did you move to Surprise, Arizona? Well, I say, well, there was a man involved. So I live in Surprise, Arizona. And in Surprise, Coldwell Banker is not as strong. So my new partner and I moved to a company called West USA Realty. So it's the largest with 19 branches in the state of Arizona. It's called West USA.
Oh, okay. So you've left Coldwell Banker.
It was a wild trip, I got to tell you. Yes.
Well, so tell me, we can just kind of hop right into that. So when you're looking for a new brokerage, what drew you to your new brokerage?
Well, first of all, I'm doing something that Tom Ferry has always talked about called the golden handoff. And every time I hear it, it sounds like, you know what, but really what it is it's absorbing somebody else's business. So I did very well here the first 2 years in 2023 and 2024. But I knew this gentleman named Randy Cracker, and his wife had died 3 years ago. He'd sold over 1,900 homes in my 9,700 home development and Sun City West, because we live in the Sun City. So I'm Sun City Grand, 9,700 homes. Then we also have Sun City West, which is 15,000 homes. So can you imagine? I mean, he had a ninja team that his wife ran, but he sold 1,900 homes. And the thing is that we were so attracted to each other as friends. He'd always just come by to see how I'm doing, or I realized how lonely he was. He just started coming over for dinner on Saturday nights. And then we just became friends. So for the first year, we discussed, well, how are we going to do this as a team? Because we had some criteria. First of all, we sell, believe it or not, we all get old, and I'm considered old, is we live in active adult communities, okay? It's like the Disneyland for anybody over 45. It is amazing. So him and he specialized in it. I always say that Randy Cracker will lose more than I'll ever know and learn in my whole life about real estate here in what we call the Grand. It was formerly called Sun City Grand that Del Webb built, but now it's called the Grand. Okay. So our criteria was, in this kind of age range, people want to feel. They want to walk in. They want to look you in the eye. They want to shake your hand. They want to know you have a boss. They don't want to know that all of a sudden they sign something and they never see you again. Okay. You know, so it was important to us that we had a physical office presence. And as everybody else now is closing up their brick and mortar, we had to pick. Now, we got super lucky when we found West USA, because not only they're not a franchise, so the 6% override is not existent. So Jade, the manager, like when we walked in, we were interviewing everybody. It just felt good. And just Randy just walked out and said, that's the place.
What a great story and a great way to like find your new footing. And I do want to dive in because as you mentioned, there was a man involved, and you moved from San Diego to where you
always is if you're moving from San Diego to Surprise. I mean, people are like, what the hell?
Yes. So, I mean, that's a big deal when you're in real estate and you've built a community in one city, and then you're moving states away.
And you know, it's so funny, Jamie. I was a luxury agent. I mean, you know, I sold some of the most prolific properties. If you go onto my Biszantz connection, and I have painstakingly kept one photo of every home publicly that I have sold, that I'm allowed to publish, and represented the buyer, seller, and the amount. So I sold a lot in Indian Wells, California, La Jolla, Rancho Santa Fe, downtown Del Mar, sand properties, castles. I sold a castle in Rancho Santa Fe with a moat, and that had an ocean view. So I went from that to learning. Now I'm doing a volume business. So now I'm doing volume, and I'm learning to lead with love. But with volume, you can't let yourself be with everybody. It's not like you have one client that you're selling a $10 million home to.
Yes.
You've got, 15 clients in town, and you have to manage, how you do it.
All the things.
So they call me the chaos organizer, but I think I'm chaotic myself. So
it all floats together. So how did you, I don't want to say start over, but in a way, start over in a brand new city? What was your
Don't even be shy, Jamie. Let's just call it what it is. I didn't know one person. I mean, I knew my husband, but we both agreed because he didn't want to live in Shannon land in California because I had never moved 2 miles from where I lived. So he was so tired of like running into all these people that I knew and dated, And at the time he was living in Hawaii. So actually during COVID, you'll just die laughing. We got married like right before COVID hit. So here we are, honeymoons, bought a house in Hawaii. I think I'm going to retire. We're watching like that guy on TV every day, this whole COVID thing. And we're just newlyweds. So it was like, it didn't even touch us.
For sure.
I never even sold a house. But it got tight in the islands because they don't have the capacity like Los Angeles or New York to handle a major breakout. Mm-hmm. So it did get very difficult living there. And I'm embarrassed to tell you, the decision to come back to the mainland really came not when they closed all the hotels. That's cool. Not when they closed all the restaurants, but like just when they closed all the golf courses, to be really honest with you, that's when we're like, well, where in the country are golf courses open? Because that's how we met on the internet. As the most important thing to him and the most important thing to me was golf through eHarmony, because we're both very good golfers. So when they closed down our country club, I just begged him to move back to the mainland. And Jim was like, no problem. Let's just, he you know what he did? He didn't even say anything. He goes, I've got this little house I bought about 15 years ago in the desert outside of Phoenix. And I don't know if you're going to like it or not, but it's summer, it's July. Let's just go and see if you like it. I drove in. Now, any of you golfers, I'm driving in, okay? And there are waterfalls, greens on this side, which is a different golf course from this side. And I'm driving through and I'm realizing there's 4 golf courses. I'm thinking this is like a $250,000 buy-in. I'm like, oh my God, you didn't even tell me this before we were married? I would have been there in a heartbeat. So like the house is a little 1,200 square foot rental. We moved into it. And then I just said, I'm never leaving. And so here we are. And we bought a beautiful home that, would be a $4 million home in Rancho Santa Fe where I was. But it was a $585,000. And the property taxes here is so unbelievable that we just fell in love, and I met the girls, and I have a community. I have the most amazing community. And so I want to share with you, Jamie, how that community and Fello works together.
I would love to hear it. And that was actually, I was going to transition into Fello and your use of Fello and how you are using that to kind of build that presence of real estate in the Arizona area.
Okay, so I am a little techie. I love tech. And so, I started realizing through Follow-Up Boss when they integrated and everything that I'm totally Big Brother. Okay, so first of all, I don't know anybody. So a lot of things can happen in Arizona that can't happen in other states. Mm-hmm. So you can't bust me. But I bought the database from 2 separate title companies. Nobody had ever asked them for, and I paid for an 85% accuracy rate of a phone number and an email of 9,700 homes within our little robo-gates.
Okay.
You know, I call them like little, because it's not a country club. That's the thing that you don't understand. It's not a country club. So there's 9,700. So I merged those all into Follow Up Boss and we tagged them. You know, if we tested to see if the email was correct, you know, then we put them into the Fello. And so now I got a database. And then we started creating action plans in Fello, but I also created action plans in Follow Up Boss. So they get hit with, because I'm a big bomb person too. I'm very like how I have it set up. So the minute like you put in your address, hi, I'm Shannon. Thanks so much for joining my website, and you know, blah blah blah. And so then they get hit with that. And then, of course, they get that phenomenal website of Fello, right?
Yes.
And then I just sit and open up my Follow Boss and look at these people. And I can see, oh, my God, this guy named Tom DeLuzio's been, you know, on it like 18 times in the past 24 hours. Well, you know what? It's hard for me to get around because I have a broken leg. But so before I broke my leg, so I just put my headsets on and I call him. And I say, hi, Tom, this is Shannon, your neighbor. Okay, that's how I do it. Hi, this is Shannon, your neighbor over on Granite Falls 2 North. And I just noticed, Tom, that you're really looking at your website. And, you know, I really would like to know, what do you think? Do you think the price is too high, too low? Which core data mining ones do you think is most accurate on your home? Well, the problem in a adult community like mine, they don't want to get off the phone. So like, I end up talking to these people, and then they invite me over for lunch. And so what I do is I do that. So with that particular guy, he ended up coming over for a dinner party last night or 2 nights ago. And I introduced him to a girlfriend of mine. But, you know, he's moving into a retirement facility, and you know, he wanted me to know everything about his house before he lists his house with me. Now, for the fake people, I'm a little ballsy. For the fake people who put in a fake name and then they yet keep going, I have my Shannon Biszantz. This is the front cover.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see my back cover.
Yep. That's cool.
And I make a CMA, and then I've got a bio page about me. And I drive around in my golf cart, and I'll have 5 of them in my golf cart, and I'll just knock on their door and I'll go, hi, are you Jean? I'm Shannon, and I'm your neighbor. I live over in Hartford. And I just noticed that you've been really looking a lot at the website. And then, you know, I'll never forget this one couple, Arthur Stackpole. He goes, Ella, have you been looking at prices? I told you we're going out feet first. And this is like during the Academy Awards. And now they're fighting because usually one couple is not telling another couple that they're looking at the value of the properties. And you know what I say? I said, Arthur, I'm not trying to sell your house. I want to go out feet first too. Put this with your medical records, with all your stuff that you have in your office, so that if something ever happens to you, one of your children will have the valuation at that time date stamped. And then once a year, I'll drop off a new one. And you can even have me in for a glass of wine if you like. So, you know, that's how I do it. And I show up in my golf cart.
What a great way to build value and build trust, and a way to create that business now, but also in the future. I think that that's such an incredible idea. So just so I understand, I'm following along. You have been in Arizona since about 2023. And I got
my license in 2022 in November. So my first year was 2023.
Perfect.
Yes.
And then you signed up for Fello in 2024, I believe, correct?
Probably somewhere around there.
So what drew you to Fello? Was it the data at first?
Well,
or
I have them both open. So like, you guys all know what hot sheets are. So every morning religiously, I've got my Fello up. I've got my Follow Up Boss up, and then I'm going through my hot sheet of that 9,700 homes in my community that I got the database. So in a way, it's kind of painful because like I open up, I go, oh shit. And then I look at Fello, that was a 78 score number, and they sure enough go on the market this morning with Nancy Muslim. And it was because I was too lazy to, drop off my CMA. So now, I have a partner. So now I created for him and I are a partner, and I'm absorbing his business. So we created a new one because we got to give the guys all the credit, right? He's like the waving Vanda, what's the name of the, what is her name that, spins the wheel. So everything is, he's the Vanna White. So we got the cracker present. So this now is our cover, because what's hysterical is everywhere we go, everybody knows him because he sold their house.
Mm-hmm.
So we're partners now, and we do this, and we do like ridiculous ads. And as soon as I don't know if you saw this. Oh my God. So as soon as this boot mold comes off.
Oh, those are hard too.
You have no idea. So, I fractured my tibia. And so I avoided surgery. I did a month in a cast. Now I'm a month in this. And then on the 15th, I go back to Dr. Janet to see if I can go into a walking boot mold. So from a walking boot mold, I can start doing it again. Like, because I have to use a scooter everywhere I go. So Fello for me, like, everybody watches it and then they argue about, well, I think CoreLogic is just totally wrong. And you know what I do too, because I see girlfriends of mine from my golf community. Now, mind you, this is not a country club, which is an interesting point. Mm-hmm. It's a place that our HOAs are $1,900 a year, $1,921 a year. And we have the 4 golf courses, 26, pickleball courts. We're on the Sonoran Desert, but I am not a Phoenix agent. I live in the Grand in Surprise. Okay. And that's what I do. So anyways, what is your next question? I forgot. Let me look. So actually I did very, very well by myself in 2023. I did 150,000 GCI. And then in 2024, I did 180. And then I don't know if you're a numbers person or not, but since Randy and I, we found West USA on June 17, 2021. We've done 3,846,400, which is 72,000 GCI.
What?
And we got a waiting list of people asking us to take their houses.
What incredible numbers.
I'm having to hobble in on my, we're like a vaudeville act, I'm hobbling in on this. And, he's funny because he tells stories all the time. He knows everybody. So his code word is like to shut up. I call him Tucker. And then I tend to be a little tough on, not a little, a lot. And then he just goes, broomstick, code word, be nice. So I started teaching him about Fello, and he's fascinated with it because he goes, I was actually really smart. My VAs researched every house he ever sold that since the MLS didn't change. So that would have been in 2000. So they've all tagged them Randy's clients. So now the truth is we just need to create CMAs and then just go drive in the golf cart and go drop them all off at their old friend's house and let their friends know that his wife died 3 years ago. And no, I'm not wife number 2, but we're selling houses together. And if there's anything we can do to be of service to you or your children in any way, let us know.
That's such a great strategy. And question, when you're showing Randy Fello, are there any features that you're really wanting to highlight or that he is really excited by?
Well, my success manager is Jesse Cumbia, and he is the best success manager ever. And so he's created smart lists for Randy's clients.
Nice. I love Jesse.
All Randy has to do, because he's 75 or 74 years old, he doesn't use Facebook. He I actually had to buy him a computer because he went from an iPhone to a tablet and forgot the computer. So he has now his whole setup. I got him a huge screen like I have here in my house, the big ones, because he can't see very well. But he knows how to hit Randy's hottest searches of his clients. And then he goes, well, I'm just going to call him up right now. So we end up just calling him up in the office together, his old clients, and say, hey, you want to get together, or do you want to compare? I mean, would you like a little report on how your house, what the value is right now? So we do that. So it works beautifully. And, I did have the pleasure of meeting Ryan. Ryan was at Success Summit, not this year, but last year.
Yep.
And I was so blown away. Kirk joined after I joined, and I was talking about it in the Tom Ferry private Facebook pages. And then everybody started calling, and then everybody asked me to put in their addresses so they could see my action plans. Because what really is helping me is my action plans of my videos that are embedded through BombBomb that goes for 5 years. And I have like videos on my YouTube. You just put my name in YouTube, Shannon Biszantz. Put it anywhere, and you'll see like more videos than God that you ever wanted to know about me. And the thing about a retirement community is they all watch them. I mean, they don't just say I'm busy, because they're not.
Yes.
They've got a pickleball game at 2:00, so they have time to go look at it. So it's kind of funny.
Awesome.
I'm just looking at your questions. What else can I answer?
Oh, no, you're fine. And it's just a casual conversation. So those are kind of just general guides. But I know that you've mentioned, I believe you use Fello's lead score and the property intelligence.
It hurts. This is the most painful process on the planet, because I pay for this stuff. And so then I'm looking at my hot sheets. I look at the 3 houses that were sold that have the 80 score that I didn't pay attention to. And yet those people actually signed up, filled out the information for their name and phone number, and I effed up.
So how do you move forward from that? Is there?
Well, we're bringing in 2 more people.
Okay.
And so the 2 more people, Jesse is set up for under $400,000 houses, because that's really not what I want to do. So all the leads under 400,000 are going to randomly 2 girls in our office that we like, and then they'll give us a commission back, referral fee if they get the listing. Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out how to monetize Fello, because I'm a single little girl. The $800 bill of this, the $1,300 bill of Tom Ferry. I've got husband number 2 who is a teacher who freaks when he sees all this, you know what I mean? But I just have to say, just remember, we're building the engine. It's an engine.
It is an engine. I love that mindset behind it. And question, since you've been on Fello for over a year now, do you have any listings that you would say Fello helped you acquire? Or
well, I think that every listing that I have right now, let me look at them all. I mean, every single one of them went into Fello.
Okay,
every single one. I mean, because they send out those random 300 emails. So I don't ever know. But when I get called to go on a listing, I look on my listing on Fello, and I can already see that they've already looked at all that stuff. Like yesterday, I had to do a listing presentation on the fly. Got the listing, of course. But all I did is I printed out her pages of the Fello, because I was having a dinner party. I think it was on Saturday. So I'm like, we got to do this really quick. I don't have time. Let's go. And so I just showed her those valuations and said, this is where we're at. These are the 4 biggest data mining companies. Okay. But this is what I think I can do for you. So yes, I would say that every single client I have has gotten the emails, because we've already gone through a year now. So 9,700, we have 6,800 people that have gotten them, and we know who doesn't open and we know who does. And then I very quietly, there's some ladies in my golf club that I just privately send them a message and say, I don't know if it's your husband. I don't know if it's you, but I just want you to know I'm always there for you. I'll never talk about it publicly. But if you do want me to come inside and do a total valuation of right down to the dollar, just give me a holler. But other than that, we play golf and we'll never talk about it again.
Nice. I love that you are able to be that resource for that community and for those women that you golf with. And we are running up on time, but I do
Okay,
have,
but I just want to tell you one more thing because
yes.
I am a little bitchy. So what I do is like sometimes I drop this off because I had a client that had 3 houses and they put in all their wrong phone numbers. Well, I went and I gave them all 3 separate CMAs and I said, "Oh, and by the way, Jay, apparently I think you missed the digits on your phone number. So what is your phone number really?" And so I like wrote it down in my notes because I said, "Jay, if I get something really hot that's going to affect your properties, it's really important that I have the right phone number so I can text you and let you know that your neighbor's home sold." You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's a way around going, "I know you lied, but I got you anyways because I know where you live."
I really like the few scripts that you have thrown out during our conversation. I like how you phrase things because you get the information you need in such a tactful way, if you will. And it's usually information that people have given you the wrong phone number, but you tactfully get the right one by making it kind of
You
humor.
must have made a mistake.
So, real quick, I would love to know if somebody, say someone watching this is brand new to Fello, or they're still considering whether Fello is the right product for them. What advice would you have for them on getting started so they can set a really solid foundation?
I would use Follow Up Boss as their CRM to save money
Okay.
because it is technically a CRM. I have every other week, I have an standing appointment with my success manager, Jesse, and it's Wednesdays usually, and we go through the past 2 weeks. Now, I don't think a lot of people do that, but I do that. And remember, the CMA a day is what's killing it now. And when you show up at somebody's house, that you're doing them a service by giving them the value of their home in a hard copy that they can keep. I just wanted you to know that is the number one thing you can do right now, because Fello tells you the score number. So hit everybody over 70 and you're going to have more listings than God. I mean, like right now, I don't even have time to take the ones we're building, and I hate the idea of a team, but I got to get all these people because I got 700 hand raisers.
Yeah.
I have 700 hand raisers this year out of 6,800 that says, "I want to know the value of my home." And now we even started a cash deal. So now I got to build that out because we did the video. So, I mean, I don't know how it's super. Go on my YouTube channel. You'll see the videos. I just don't know what I would do without it.
I love that. And I love so much you taking this time to share all of this with me. You are a hoot, and I have absolutely loved this conversation. I also love that you have that standing time with Jesse. I too am a major fangirl of Jesse. He has the most contagious energy, and I love learning from him.
Yes.
And that's actually one of the biggest pieces of advice that I would give somebody starting Fello is to get those reoccurring meetings on the schedule.
I mean, it's like buying a toy. Like I have more shit in my office that I haven't even opened yet, of cameras, ring lights, new this, new that, I mean, every shiny object. But you got to pick the one that works for you. And Fello does act as a CRM, and you can dump all the people. Like right now, I have 3,000 more people I could add in. So I'm going to pick a luxury neighborhood that's near me, and then we'll dump all those people in. And I buy all that from the title companies in Arizona.
I love that. And I am probably going to take inspiration from you personally because I am licensed myself. And I love learning from other agents that are doing things in unique ways and seeing really powerful benefit from it. So I absolutely love that. Well, Shannon, thank you so much for taking this time to chat with me. I appreciate you. And I cannot wait until our next conversation.
Oh, Jamie, thank you for having me. It meant the world to me today. I even got up, because my foot's broken, took a shower so I would look decent.
You look great. You look great. Thank you, Shannon.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.